before we go live, can you hear me? Oh, okay,
Yes, I
it's
can hear
live.
you. We are live. Yes,
Okay.
we are. Yes, we are live.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, ladies. Hi, women in DeFi.
Hi.
Hi, Web3 pioneers. Everyone tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for your patience. We were actually waiting for one of our guests, but we haven't seen her yet, so I believe she will join us shortly. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, we'll be diving deep into Web3 without borders. And then the incredible role women are playing in DeFi adoption. This is a special International Women's Day edition brought to you, brought to you by Women in DeFi. A moment, I think we have our guest coming in. Let me see if that's she. One moment, please. Oh, okay, that's not her. All right, so this is a special International Women's Day edition brought to you by Women in DeFi, and I am your host, Angie, the community manager at Women in DeFi. You can tell how excited I am, grinning from ear to ear. So thank you again for joining and you know joining the conversation. All right, I can see comment. Hi, Victory. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Before we dive in, if we are live, please drop your location. Let's know where you are tuning in from. We'd like to get to know a lot of how many other people joining us from the areas they are joining us from. So please drop your location in the chat so we get to know where you are tuning in from. And while at it, please ensure you click the like, subscribe button, and then share with your community. Share with your girlies. This is not a conversation that you want to hear alone. So please do not gatekeep. Share with your girls. You can just say hi, happy International Women's Day, and then drop the link and let the person join us. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Woo! I can see Quincy from Delta, Victory from Ibadan. Thank you so much. Thank you. So good to see you all on the call. So while we are still waiting for our third guest, we will start because, oh, that's Rita. Rita from Lagos. Thank you so much, Rita, for joining us. Please share with your girls, your community, share with them, let them join us in this conversation. Just say happy, in fact, if you don't know what to say, happy International Women's Day, drop the link and let the person join us. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You already know we don't just bring you guests, we bring you the pioneers, we bring you powerhouses. We don't just bring you guests, and today is no exception. First off, I was going to introduce Amma, but I think she dropped off. She'll be joining us shortly. So I'll go ahead and introduce Peace, and then we'll start the conversation while Amma joins us. All right. All right, first of all, this is Peace. Peace is the programs manager at Women in DeFi. Unfortunately, Sarah is unavoidably absent. She was not able to join us, but then in her absence, we are honored to have Peace. Hi, Peace. How are you doing?
Hi, Angie. Thank you very much for having me. Hi, everyone.
Thank you
Happy to
for
be
joining
here.
us. Thank you for joining us. All right, I'm going to start the conversation. I hope Amma is not having trouble rejoining. But before I go, just give me a moment. Let me check in with her before we proceed. Thank you all for joining. Woo. All right. So while we are waiting for them, I've left a message. Okay, Amma is back. Hi, Amma. Welcome back. Confirm you can hear me.
Hi. It was lagging before, so I had to join with my laptop. So yeah,
Perfect. Welcome
hopefully the
back.
network is better.
It should be. It should be. All right, ladies, let me introduce Amma to you. Amma is a social media lead. She is at the intersection of crypto, community, and content. Please help me welcome Amma. Amma, would you perhaps like to, properly introduce yourself to the community? I hope you were able to catch that. Did you hear that? Was I audible enough? Please confirm you can hear me. All right, I guess it's her network then. Amma, can you hear me? All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but it's frozen. Ooh. All right. So, peace, while we wait for Amma to come around, just to lighten the mood and lighten the atmosphere, I'm going to ask you one question. I'm sure you were not expecting this question. I'm going to ask you one question. And this is also for the benefit of, the community members who are just new. So it's a one question that has a one-word answer. So now let me go. And then if you're watching live, you can drop your one-word answer in the comment. Let me get to see your response. All right, peace coming your way. What's one piece of Web3 slang that you think everyone should know? By slang, I mean ASAP, you understand, right? So what's one Web3 slang you think everyone should know?
Alpha. Everybody. Alpha, guys.
that was a good one. That was a good one. GM, good. When I was new to Web3 and you say GM, I get really confused. Like, hello, how can you be saying GM in the night? Do you understand? So I was LFG. Okay, let me not pronounce the F word. Thank you so much, Quincy. Thank you, Queen. All right, Amma, confirm you can hear me.
Yes, the network is much better. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So I don't know if you caught what I was saying earlier on. After introducing you, I asked if you perhaps would like to properly introduce yourself to the community.
Okay, yes. Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, GM, as we always say. So my name is Amar. I think some of you guys will know me as I was, the former community lead of Women in DeFi. And currently I am the social media lead of SpiceNet. And that is that about me, right? I'm into marketing and I'm into anything growth. I love growth, and Women in DeFi is my foundation. I keep saying it. Without Women in DeFi, I'm not sure I'll have a career in the Web3 space, right? I'll probably be, a trader, and the market currently will be dealing with me so far. So, Women in DeFi is like my foundation, started off my career for me. And so far, so good. I've been able to, grow and, explore more skills and upskill, explore different roles. And so far, so good is what pays the bills now. And yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. That was a well-detailed introduction. Thank you for joining us. And just like we were going around when you Saladin. Just like we were going around when you joined. So I asked a question. One question that has one word answer, just to lighten the mood of everyone before we start. What is one Web3 slang you believe everyone should know? I guess the newbies here can benefit from it so that you don't get into the community and somebody is saying something, you're like, what exactly is this person saying?
I think the most common one should be GM, because almost every day everyone says GM. So as a newbie, if you have not come across GM, I'm not sure you're in the CTNG space in general. So I feel like the first one is GM. To the moon, let's fucking go.
Yeah, like somebody said that. Said that.
Yeah.
All right, just a moment. Thank you so much, Amma, for that. Unfortunately, our guest that was supposed to join us, the third guest, she's running a bit late, and I think there's misunderstanding in the communication of the timing. All right, let's proceed. I came across it a lot, but I don't know the meaning. Please, what's GMGM? All right, Amma, what's GMGM? You have a question. Let me wait.
So GFGM simply means good morning, right? It's good morning, and that's how we greet in the crypto space. And now the difference with this particular good morning is that we greet it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, even in the night. Even as an introduction, we just say, okay,
Yes.
just like I said, I had to like GFGM everyone. So it's a footprint now. It's a landmark now. It's like that word that you just say as it's just there, right? It's a greeting, whatever you want to use it for. Greeting, introduction. It can be, it's really versatile. So it goes beyond the normal good morning, and even projects right now are incorporating the GM into their projects. You get things like Gmonad, Gspice. So it just simply, if you just see it, it's just simply, greeting, telling you hi. So hi, Ruth.
All right. Thank you so much, Ruth. I hope that does it for you. All right, let's proceed. First of all, thank you so much for that interaction. I love the fact that people are dropping their one-word answer to that, so that the newbies here, just like Ruth now, she's no longer lost. When she sees GM, she already know what that means. Good. Now, let's go into the main course. We are going to start with global landscape. Don't forgive my eyes that are running around because I was trying to see if the guest is able to join us or she's having a problem. So now we are going to start with global landscape in DeFi adoption. The truth is, women, we have gone far, considering where we were coming from. We have come from nowhere to somewhere. But then the percentage of women in DeFi is something that you will look at. You will definitely know that we still have a long way to go. I was going to start this question with Alex because she has worked on, DeFi projects across different regions. I wanted to get an overview of her experience. But then I will start with you, Amma, then. So far, what do you perceive? What do you perceive in terms of women? What do you perceive in terms of women stepping into leadership roles in DeFi? What has been your experience from your own point of view?
Okay. So far, I feel like in general first, right? When you join a company, there is every percentage, be it a startup, be it an already established, company. There is this there is always a larger percentage of men against women, right? And sometimes, even though you do find women, they intentionally like open that space for women, be like, oh, let's not look like we are anti-women. Like it's not just something that flows. Now, I remember my first official job with Whitebit, right? One of the largest cryptocurrency exchange in Europe. It's a global brand, right? But they opened, they wanted to expand to the African region, and they were looking for a community manager thereabout. Now, mind you, they've employed for other roles, marketing lead, mods, graphics, they've country manager self, they've employed, right? But in all of their employments, there was no woman involved. It was just men, right? And I did my interview. Now, before I even did my interview, they've interviewed over like, other men. I was like one of the first few women that they are interviewing that was actually good for the job. Now, on getting that role, it's like a lead role where, I will have people working under me and, and also like report to me, right? And just imagine you stepping into a room full of able-bodied men and you're just the lady there, right? So it was sometimes they make you feel like, oh, you're a girl, you're just a girl. But based on, I am also somebody that loves my voice being heard. I don't like, I don't allow them to, down, like not allow, not, listen
Maybe
or
downplay. Okay.
downplay whatever I do, right? So, but it's not like, funny enough, they don't do it like intentionally. It comes like it's just part of them. They just feel like, oh, you're a lady. Even when other ladies started joining, an elderly woman even approached me, was like, oh, you're just a little girl. How did you come across this role? Why are you earning so much? But now she don't have problem with other men in the space that are actually earning in that company. She just had that, stereotype regarding to me. So that's misinterpretation that, women can lead.
Yeah.
It's something that,
It's
and
kind of ingrained, even when they
yeah,
are not intending, just comes off like that.
exactly. Yes. And with or without them knowing, they favor men over, females when it comes to job, when it comes to stepping up in leadership role. And the thing is, they don't even know they do this. that is where it's crazy.
Yeah.
They actually don't know they do this. It just is inbuilt. Like,
Yeah.
I'm currently planning a get together with, the one brand I work with, and during the get together, based on where we are going to, is a fantastic spot, right? But we're just two ladies in the team. Great team, anyways. Really, really great team. Really supportive team and inclusive team, right? But based on the location we chose, they were like, "Oh, this kind of location is very good for you and your for female, like male and female. Oh, we need to employ more females." Now, directly or indirectly, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a stereotype that is there when it comes to lead roles, when it comes to in any role self in general as a female, especially when you are working in a technical team, in a team full of more guys. They feel like they know much better. You can't lead them, but in all it's great, right? Us as women, we definitely have our ways through all of that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Amma. And before we proceed, hi, Alex. So good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Hi, everyone. This is Alex. Alex is the CEO of Period Labs. So, Alex, I will give you room to go ahead and introduce yourself. But before you go, I know I've said it before, but again, thank you so much for inviting me to the Bullish but Balanced session. That was an incredible session. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to hear you speak tonight. All right, please go ahead and introduce yourself to the community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. Ladies in the studio, it's great meeting you. I'm indeed Alex. It's a pleasure to meet you, and everyone who is potentially watching, also great. Hopefully interacting with you in one way or the other. Apologies for being late. Very unfemale, right? As we are usually very precise. I would say definitely more precise than men if we want to be stereotyping.
Of course, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So yeah, let's not enter into that, but we're here. So that's the most important thing. I'm indeed the founder of Throat Labs. I'm calling in from Italy, whilst I am myself from the Netherlands originally. I'm first of all very happy, as I said, to be here. Thanks again for the invite. And what we're doing with Throat Labs is that we have built a free and open access application for Web3, as I call them, professionals. So anyone who is professionally involved with Web3 or wants to be can basically have a look at our business app and connect with others from across the globe for jobs, for internships, for funding, for collaboration, partnerships, whatever it really is that you want. You can find these people on Throat. It's basically a free and open access effort from our end to hopefully bring people together who are working and building and investing in the Web3 space. And in that regard, we also partner up with a lot of events and conferences across the globe, but that is a slightly more commercial application of our app. Maybe more to the point, we also try to grow a female community called Ecstasy, where kind of like we encourage women in our industry, especially female professionals and builders, to collaborate and help each other really as proactively as possible. Basically very similar to what we're doing here today. Just be honest, let's bring opportunities to one another and hopefully hustle and create deals and collaborate. For the rest, I don't want to make this too long. Maybe I'll just mention here that I am a lawyer and political scientist by education. And we've also just published today an article about women in Web3. And maybe we can elaborate a little bit more about substantial topics later.
All right. Thank you so much, Alex. So good to have you. So going deep, because Amma just gave us her insights as regards to where she thinks where women are in terms of leadership in DeFi. But I wanted to have you share your own perspective, considering the fact that you have worked on DeFi projects across different regions, right? So what trends are you seeing in terms of women stepping into leadership role in DeFi?
Yeah, that is a very, very important question. I don't know what the other speakers have priorly already brilliantly mentioned, but I will really give my 2 cents from my end very quickly. I think that definitely what we're seeing is generally more women in this space. I don't know how long you ladies have been in crypto, either as builders or as investors. I started initially as an investor in 2017, and there were even less, of course, women than today. Generally, so I would, you ladies agree, right? Yeah. So generally, I would say that what I currently observe over the last couple of years, especially since that the last, bear market of 1-2 years ago is over, is just generally more women joining. However, what I do see, but correct me if I'm wrong, I do have the idea that most women building in our industry are quite often in maybe more human-related roles. So what I mean is maybe human resources, marketing, communications. And slightly less devs and maybe female entrepreneurs. Would you kind of like think that as well, or are you ladies exceptions to that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah, I think that is maybe interesting to maybe dig into a little bit deeper, as in, why would that be? I think it would probably very much also depend on the ambition of a female in our industry. Like, do you want to become an entrepreneur? Do you want to be a dev? Yes or no? Of course, there is massive risk involved, and it's really not easy. And of course, I would also say that given the male-dominated environment that I think you just already mentioned, it can also be pretty tough. I guess that I speak for myself. I had massive imposter syndrome, and I think I still have it. Like when I'm at events and males are kind of like explaining me how I should run my company and how I should be fundraising and whatnot, like that tickles my vulnerabilities and insecurities, right? So I guess that's maybe also something to come over time. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, someone I respect so much. Like I have known her, she has been in this system for over a year, I think 16 years ish. So she once mentioned to me that it's always there, the imposter syndrome is always there, but you just have to, the thing is, feel whatever you feel and just do whatever you have to do. Feel it, the fear, the anxiety, but still go ahead and do whatever you have to do, because men, I don't know, I cannot speak for men, but the way they come off speaking, the way they come off, for opportunities, I don't know if they feel it. Even if they feel it, it means that, okay, they feel whatever they feel and they still come ahead to, do whatever they have to do. And I believe it's interesting we are having this session, because me sharing this now, more women get to understand that it's not about the fear, it's not about the anxiety. A lot of people who have been in this system for a very long time, they still feel it. But whatever happens, whatever feelings they have, they still go ahead and do whatever they have to do. Thank you so much, Alex, for that. I really appreciate that. So because of time constraint, I'm checking time here. So I'll move on to the next question, because what we are talking about, where women are in DeFi, especially in stepping in leadership position, we also talk about the barriers they are experiencing. Of course, DeFi is, disrupting traditional finance. But then how about within DeFi itself? What about within DeFi itself? What are the challenges that still exist there for women, and how we can overcome that? Peace, I'm going to start with you. for this question because you have been at the forefront of the programs at Women in DeFi, right? So how has been your experience, or better say, what has been your experience?
Okay, Angie, thank you. I think that's a solid question. DeFi, right, is decentralized finance. So I'm going to start from the basics, maybe not the basics, but I'm going to start from Web 2. I have a
Yeah,
background, a strong background coming from Web 2. I have vast experience working in banks, fintechs, organizations, PSSPs, and
yeah,
the likes. And even in Web 2, up till now, this is a conversation that still ensues in terms of gender inequality, right? The sample size of men, when you juxtapose it to women, it doesn't balance, right? So
yeah.
there's so much to say about sensitization. So instead of stating it as a barrier, I think from the program's perspective in Women in DeFi and what we do, providing a platform for women to learn, providing them with the resources that they need to understand the technology, blockchain, DeFi, all the infrastructure. We have a development team in Women in DeFi, right? And I tell you, when we put out application, we have men apply than women, right? We call for
Can you
mentorship. We have
imagine?
more men who indicate interest, and this also rises off
And
the back
true,
of,
even to join the community, we get a
yeah,
couple of males
more
applying to
men who are
join. Some will
interested
even
in
fake their
joining.
names and use female name to join. And then when I catch them, I'll just like, bro, what are you doing here?
So 100%. And I think there's something to say about the cultural side of things, in that how men are brought up compared to women, how we raise the female gender. There's a carefree mindset that men have that allows them to be more daunting, to be more daring, to just go for opportunities without thinking about it. As opposed to the women, we overthink it. We want to be perfect. We want to tick all the boxes
Yes.
right before we launch, before we put ourselves out there. On the other hand, I also heard you, Angie, say that there's been some inclusivity, there's been some representation, and I think Alex corroborated that by saying that nowadays she's been in the space for longer, but now she's seen more women who are involved, albeit in the non-technical side of things, right? um so I think we're getting more female pioneered projects. We're seeing more women in the development side of things, but there are not a lot of them. It's not enough. And so the barrier that I see is in terms of the mindset, right? There needs to be
Hmm.
a mindset shift for the women to allow themselves launch, right? Be okay to be the loudest voice in the room. It's okay to be the loudest voice in the room, right? Sometimes, because I work with men a lot, usually when I attend female meetings and then I'm speaking, some people think I come off too strong, but that's the type of energy that you need to
Yeah,
break
true.
ceilings sometimes, and some women want to be patted and bettered, they want it to be soft. If you're in tech, you're doing hard things. That's how I like to think about it. And if you say you want to do hard things, you want to solve problems, then go for it, right? Let's not be restrictive in terms of gender. We have, I think I saw Coxie on the call. Coxie is our lead DevRel person. She's a solid engineer, right? And when we do recruitment, we did a couple of recruitments last week for the mentors that we're bringing on board. And when I tell you, most of these men don't cut it, right? But do they apply? Yes. How many
Of
female
course.
applications do we get? Not a lot, right, compared to the men. But we have solid women, we have women with all the potentials who are not putting themselves out there. So I'm just going to summarize by saying that the barrier that I see is in the mind. It starts from the ladies. First of all, taking a chance on themselves, doing away with the mindset that, tech is hard. This is for a select few. I can't code, or I don't understand the infrastructure. I do. I am of the opinion that the blockchain UI or the Web3 UI is a bit complex, right? But
Yeah.
there are people who understand it. And then there are people who are thinking to solve that problem. That's a problem on its own. And there are people who are thinking to solve that problem. So we need more women to step up, right? That's my response to your question, Angie.
All right, thank you so much, Peace. Thank you. That's an incredible one. So if you are watching, know that this mindset thing is something we have to actually work on, because just like this year's theme says, accelerate action. So it's not about taking action right now. I know that we have been taking action over the years, trying to overcome the limiting mindset. But this time around, we are going to, pedal, accelerate, so that whatever is holding us down shouldn't hold us anymore after this session. All right, I have a comment here. I think I see a lot of women in Web3 do, since I put myself fully into Web3. Nice. It's interesting. All right, how about you, Alex? Do you have something to add to that before we move on to the next? Let me
Yes,
get your
absolutely.
perspective.
Yes, I very, very much agree with everything that has been said, of course, so far, because how can you not? I do think that it's maybe what I would like to point out here is that I still do think that there is so much opportunity out there for women that are not today in Web3, but that don't even know so much about Web3 yet. What I mean with this is that, for instance, at Thrilled Labs, we have a traineeship where we are working with female students, mostly from Asian universities, where, for instance, we approach them in some way, or they hear about Thrilled Labs through just a talk that I'm doing somewhere at their university, right, virtually. And then students actually become aware of Web3. And slowly, slowly, they start to become more interested. They join our company, they learn more about Web3, and that can go for anyone, right? Whenever you start to learn more about Web3, even though you're not in the industry yet today, there is massive upside opportunity to dive deeper. Maybe today you are just investing, or a few dollars, or getting your hands on an airdrop, or reading some articles and whatnot. Maybe next year you're landing your first job, and maybe in 3 years from now you become a founder yourself, or you join a founding team. So what I mean to say with this is that there is still so much potential as well for just women specifically that are not yet in our industry. And what I do see is that once they become informed, once they know a little bit more about what our industry is doing, so many brilliant women are becoming interested in this. And there I actually want to circle back to 1 second, a more critical note, to some of the schools out there, some of the universities out there. Like, they don't educate women well about the opportunities of working in tech. As I said, I'm a lawyer and political scientist. I never fathomed to run a tech startup, right? I cannot even code. But apparently, even that was possible. I have sisters who are younger in the Netherlands. They barely study any tech in high school. They are just being educated to, I don't know, become an accountant, or maybe, I don't know, another type of job, right? They never think that they can work in tech, even though they have this interest. So what I just mean to say here is that, yes, there is a lot to do for women who already know about Web3, but imagine all that massive potential of wonderfully brilliant women out there that don't know it yet, and they will, thanks to webinars like this, and thanks to initiatives like your entity. End of the rant.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. I am so sorry, and my light went out. I don't know why my inverter is not coming on, so I may need to continue like this, except I get someone to help me do that quickly, because I cannot leave this call at the moment. All right, thank you. That's an interesting one, and I agree with you on that. Let me turn on my video again and see if it's better. It's still not better. Let me continue like that. All right, thank you. So, ladies, I believe I can see your comments. Thank you so much for getting involved. It's interesting to know that you are not just tuning in, but also getting involved and picking a thing or two from what we are saying, so that we don't just speak and it stays there. We take action, not just take action, accelerate action, because that's the theme for this year. All right, moving on real quickly, with respect to what we said about women getting involved, and then the barriers, and then overcoming the barriers as well. So far we know that one of the most interesting thing about Web3 is the fact that it transcends borders, right? And then the important question there would be, how do women collaborate? because if we cannot do it alone, I believe in the power of community. Community has helped me so far, right? So if we cannot do it alone, if we are trying to overcome our fears and whatnot, we can do it as a team. So how can women collaborate? Women across borders, women from different regions collaborate. I think this question, I'm going to start with you, Amma, because I have seen you work on building Web3 communities. So how can women collaborate, support themselves, elevate themselves with respect in regard to, DeFi adoption in this case, women across borders, across regions?
So one thing I would like to say is I feel like women need to, we already have women in DeFi. We need more women to lead some certain initiatives, right? Lead, certain initiatives like VCs, right? That gives access to more women, because one of the problem that, I'm sorry to digress a little bit, one of the challenge that was not mentioned is access to funding, right, for women initiative. Let's even take women in DeFi as an example in regards to funds, in regards to, VCs funding. The percentage of women-led organization getting access to fund is lower compared to, men-led initiative. I'm not trying to talk about, oh, it is men, or oh no, it is women. This is something that we've seen in the space, right? So I feel like, how when we started DeFi, and DeFi was all about, freedom, was all about, freedom of finance, and, to get, to kill the border fragmentation we have, monetary issues and all of that, right? That was the goal that, DeFi has came to solve, right? But even in DeFi, right, we are still having, um that problem of, now we have, men-led initiative, women-led initiative, that, stereotypes, does not allow women to have access to some certain things. So women actually leading some top initiatives, stepping up more, taking up lead roles and supporting women. Now I think another problem we have as women, because we are also our own problem, right? We do not support ourselves enough. Now we know the men out there, they do this, they do that, but what about us women? We sometimes, even in our little space, we see that women don't even support. There are things that happen and you don't even see women stepping up for women. So I feel like us ourselves need to learn how to love ourselves more, number one. Number two, step up in lead roles, collaborate more with women, do more inclusive things that have to involve women. Anything that, let's say, oh, this women-led initiative is hosting this or hosting that, women coming out in troop to support, just like how we have, this space today, and, women have come together, breaking that barrier. We have her here with us today, right? So supporting more women-led initiative, networking more, and also spotlighting women and giving them, more roles. Like now, being more accommodating to women when, women approach you in terms of networking, in terms of funding, in terms of, roles roles in general, right? Being more in support of women in general. So yes, that's what I have to say about that.
Indeed. Well said. That's really spot on.
Yes,
Amma.
I was even speaking while muted. I didn't realize I muted myself. Thank you so much, Amma. I can see Alex clapping, and I believe we totally agree with you on that. So let me get your opinion, Alex. What's your own take? What's your own take? Like, how can women across different regions, collaborate effectively to drive this DeFi adoption?
Yeah, I just wanted to really quickly reiterate here the first point that was actually priorly being made about, what can be considered almost the paradox of Web3, of decentralized finance, that it's open, that is transparent, that is merit-based, that everyone has access to it. But in the end, especially for business, especially for getting stuff done, for growing, whenever money comes in, whenever networking comes in, it still very much matters who you are, where you're based, and who you know. But indeed, also what you look like, including if you are a woman or however you look like, right? So these things very much matter. And without that, I'm going to pitch my company right now, that is one of the very reasons why I wanted to build a couple of years ago this open access platform, so that hopefully that would less matter for people, that everyone has fair opportunity. Anyway, what can happen? Because indeed, let's think about solutions. I would say definitely we need less of some of the, I call them bad PR and femme washing initiatives out there. Exchanges who are triumphing female empowerment. Then you go to their website and you try to click on something and a link doesn't work. You try to approach their CMO or someone in their leadership position, indeed for a collaboration, or hey, do you want to set up a webinar or whatnot? And they don't even reply. While on LinkedIn, it's all happy International Women's Day, happy this, happy that. Really, we need to speak about this thing. Maybe it's a bit negative, but I think calling out some of the PR crap that we're seeing out there from some of the people that have money, that make profits, is important. Now, again, this is not really a solution out there, but I definitely think that we should do that. Again, women actively helping one another, making introductions, getting deals done. You know, someone who is looking for a job and another company that maybe is looking for that role, put them together, right? Introduce your friend or your female colleague. Get these deals being made. A final thing, indeed, that I really want to reiterate here is also having positive investors out there. Doesn't always have to be female investors, also male investors who set like a proper positive step forward, who want to support great female projects out there. You know, not only because we are female, yes, also, but also because females get shit done. Excuse me for the language, but when we do stuff well, sometimes even better than men. So I guess that those are all a lot of different thoughts that are crossing in my mind in terms of transnational collaboration. I think initiatives like these are great. I'm honored to be here, and I would love to see more of this. Just women from different continents joining and talking and hopefully getting stuff done.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. That's our next target, because while we are trying to milk the borderless nature of Web3, we also try to make that reflect, you know, reaching women across different regions. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you. And I can see people's comments. Thank you, Bio. Thank you, Sav Sparky. All right. Because of time constraints, I'm going to run one final question. Apologies for my power backup that is not backing me up. So we are going to move on to the next question. So we've talked about a couple of things, and especially while we are talking about how women can collaborate, I love the fact that we also have newbies here with us. They are listening, because today they are newbies, tomorrow they won't be newbies. So when they get there, they have this is part of their background coming up, so they don't get there and become gatekeepers. So I love that fact.
Thank you very much for that. I love that word you use, gatekeeper, because I think Bio mentioned something. I saw her comments where she said sometimes you feel like when women actually take this role of decision making in companies, that things will become better or they'll make better decisions, and you find out that it's the opposite. So I feel like that is why I loved what you said. Women should stop gatekeeping, actually. We are fighting men on every day, but us also within ourselves, right? We need to fix ourselves. And I also agree with what P said earlier, where she said we need to actually change our mindset in a lot of things, not even in the us taking on roles of doing technical. Even when we assume this role, we should keep an open mind. We should be very, very inclusive. And we need to rewire our minds when it comes to a lot of things to make things much easier in the women community.
All right, thank you. Talking about having more women, of course, the people we have there, while we are still trying to get everyone to cooperate and then collaborate with one another. I know so far that for us to be here, someone or some people paved way for us, right? And I know that we have been paving ways for others as a community, individually, through our platforms. But then, just like I said initially, women, we have made progress, but then there's still work to be done. What more ways can we use? Like, how can we empower even more women in DeFi? Please, this is coming your way, being our program manager. Let me start with you and then run it through the other
Thank
panelists.
you.
Then we
Thank you
wrap
so
up.
much. If you hadn't mentioned me, I probably would write off the back of the next speaker, right? Or the person that would speak
Yeah.
first. So for us, our women in DeFi, basically what we're doing is providing an opportunity for women to be informed, not just informed, being equipped with the right knowledge that they need, the right skill sets. We're introducing them to the technology. We have a very robust curriculum that caters to the know-how about Web3, about blockchain, about DeFi, how to carry out research, airdrops, crypto if you want to trade, and all those good stuff, right? We put out applications from time to time. Currently, we have a cohort that's running, our intro to DeFi training, cohort 2.0. We started sometime in February. I think we're wrapping up in a couple of weeks, but we have another cohort coming up sometime in the year. If you're new, please do well to, apply, reach out, come on board the community. We put out applications sometimes. Take your time to apply for this application. All we're doing is ask you questions, right, to gauge that you're serious and you're interested to learn, right? You just need to take your time to answer the questions. We're not saying to pay, because there's another side of the conversation where the responses we get, because we're not taking every Tom, Dick, and Harry. We have to sort, right? We have to
Yeah.
shortlist, so the quality of responses that we get also matters. Please and please, guys, we need more ladies to step up. Yes, we do have female visibility in the ecosystem right now, but let me tell you, in terms of decision making, governance, strategies, like Amma said, VC funding, we need more women to take up more defining roles, more leadership roles in the ecosystem. And those are some of the things that we try to teach and train our ladies on, right? We have chapters across the different geographical or geopolitical zones in Nigeria, right? We also have chapters in Kenya, Ghana. We're creating a new chapter in Ghana sometime this year, hopefully, all things being equal, right? And that goes to speak in terms of collaboration and providing a platform for more women to learn about this technology, to come on the ecosystem, right? We provide a community that we pretty much came from that community. I'm part of the community. Andrew, you're in the community.
Yeah.
Amma has made
Yes.
reference to the community, right? So it pays. We're all beneficiaries of the women in DeFi community. So I'm just going to nudge, um, our prospects, people that are considering to join, please sign up. We have good stuff. We run a track. We take you through Web2 trainings that give you the basis of the technology that you need to know, and then introduce you to the Web3 side of things. So it's really rich and robust, right? If you could take out time to apply, right? And not just apply, commit to it, right? Sometimes we have about 500 ladies shortlisted. We come to class, we see 300 the first day, the second day we see 200, next time it's just 50, and by the end of the training, maybe 20 people made it through to the end. And we quite understand, schedules and all of those things. However, there's a part where we need to take responsibility ourselves. The platforms are there. I think there are quite a number of people who are offering similar values in terms of teaching, training, sensitizing, and providing some of these opportunities to women. But we also need to know how to take advantage. And the last thing I'm just going to mention is sometime last year we did an initiative where women in DeFi went to schools, like different secondary schools, to just sensitize ladies on the technology, tell them about blockchain, help them decide the types of courses that they should choose when they get into the higher institution, right? And these are opportunities that not a lot of us enjoyed, right? Me, when I finished school, everybody was saying, be a doctor, be a doctor. I don't like medicine, right? And you're telling me be a doctor or be a lawyer or be a pilot. Those are great professions. However, times have changed, right? And we need to narrow down on the things that are really, really critical for the times that we're in. And so it was an interesting time. We spoke to the women in science, the ladies who were in STEM, who were studying science courses. And it would interest you to know that after that session, most of them started to think in the lines of product management, software engineering, web development, blockchain development, advanced DeFi research, even ways that they can make money as technical writers and all those job that allows them to freelance while in school. And it was a joy, right? It was a delight to me that we're able to do that. And I hope that, as we progress as a community and as an organization, that would be able to carry out those types of initiative in as many states as we can, and even take it across border globally, right? But again, it boils down to funding. We need support, we need sponsorship, we need donations, because we're a not-for-profit organization, and we're riding off the back of goodwill, well-meaning Nigerians or well-meaning people in diaspora who see our vision and are willing to support us. So again, maybe this is also my way of saying support us, support us. We have a summit coming up. Send us funds, sponsor women with the tools that they need, gadgets. We're giving out laptops. We're giving out scholarship opportunities for people who want to come into our trainings. We're launching the talent pool. It's a lot of things that we're putting together, just to empower women. And we need all the support that we can get. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Peace. I really appreciate the details. I'm going to go further to mention, when you mentioned commitment, I want people to know that in their application, you can sense when someone is committed, someone is going to be committed to something or not. And that's when you said that it varies. Like, the selection process is dependent on the quality of response. So if you are going to respond to application survey questions casually, it doesn't show commitment. So if you are applying, ensure that you show the community, women in DeFi, why you need the training. All right, before we wrap up, Alex, let me hear from you quickly before we wrap up. What can we do to empower more women? I see the work you are doing, and I believe that's something everyone needs to hear and know about.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. I very much agree with the prior speaker, with everything that has been said in this regard. I wouldn't want to echo all of this. What I would want to add here is that maybe, even if you can be committed, right? And many of us and many of the women who are ultimately applying for these types of programs and are ultimately ending up in a space are committed, but maybe sometimes also overwhelmed. Now, that doesn't have to mean that you feel the imposter syndrome, right? That you doubt yourself. But let's be honest, Web3 is not also always easy. Let's say if you're not super tech savvy, you don't know how to code, maybe you find it a little bit overwhelming. It has been mentioned before that the UX is also pretty, complex and opaque sometimes still. There's so many different aspects of Web3, how it moves. Every day there's another piece of news, and the markets move and the tech moves, another layer too, and whatnot. I think it's very important to just grasp that once you get started, there is space for almost everyone in Web3, in the Web3 space. I mean, like, indeed, maybe you can become a technical writer. Maybe you can do a traineeship or an internship somewhere. Maybe you can, start organizing webinars. Maybe over time you will join the space professionally. Like, you never necessarily know where you're going to end up. But once that you put those first steps out there and you put yourself out there, you try new things and you are committed, a lot of upside potential is there. What I would also perhaps recommend is to reach out to people. Let's say if you want some advice or a couple of other more tangible pieces of comments or indeed advice that apply to your situation, reach out to the wonderful ladies here, maybe a friend of you who is already in this space. To me, drop me a message on LinkedIn or elsewhere, right? And we're happy to help. And that's cool about Web3, especially women in Web3, that we're usually out there to help one another. So I would say put yourself out there, reach out to others for help, and don't be overwhelmed. Like, over time, you will realize that there is space for you in the Web3 space, whatever your qualities are, as long as you want to contribute and you're committed. I'm sure that there's space for almost everyone in the Web3 space. So I guess that's the last thing I would add from my end here.
All right, thank you so much, Alex. Thank you. I am so happy to have these quality women on this session. Hi, Emma, are you still there? One last word. I'm just looking at the time and it's flying. One last word before we wrap up. They say time flies when you are having fun or doing something meaningful.
Yeah, true. So what I just want to add, I feel like the speakers have, said a whole lot, especially in their last, words and speech. And I just want to echo more on empowering, empowerment in general. Women in DeFi has done a lot of empowerment over the years. Even before I left, over 3,000 women, and I know it is much, much more now. Now, the question is, where are those 3,000 women, right? So there's something about empowering, you've been empowered, so which that place is your foundation. There's something about continuing the work, right? Living, trying to, either to give back to the community or empower just another person, right? And this thing keeps moving, more women are joining. Like Alex mentioned, when she said as of the time she started to now, more women have joined the space. And same thing goes for me too, since when I joined the space till now, a whole lot of women has joined the space, and women in DeFi in Africa has been a frontal to that in a whole lot of ways. I'm a product of women in DeFi, and so other women. So if these women could come back, know their foundation, and continue the work in any little capacity they can, and also be role models to other females, not just take and that is it. Be role models, empower, come back to their home, and if they are not in that capacity to mentor other people, they can as well contribute, fund this initiative that has bettered them and helped them scale, so that the work continues. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amma. Thank you so much, Peace, and thank you so much, Alex. It has been an incredible session, and I cannot thank you enough, our amazing audience. Thank you for rocking with us, and thank you for pardoning my backup power. Trust me, when next we meet, it's not going to happen. If it happens, bill me. Peace. Take note. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate your participation, and make sure that this conversation continues. Another thing, follow our phenomenal women on their platforms, and then continue these conversations even after you have left this call. Most importantly, take action. No, it's not take action anymore. It's accelerate action. So make sure you accelerate action now more than ever. Thank you everyone for joining. Until next time, bye everyone.
Bye.